This is the first video I'm filming ever since I came back from Hawaii, and I feel like I'm about 18 shades darker than I was in my last video. If that's the case, I promise it's not the lighting. I really did get like 4 shades darker than I normally am, but you know. It's Eshani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I have another Q&A video for you guys. I went on my Instagram page and asked you guys to ask me anything, any beauty related questions, any personal questions that you guys were curious about. I have done one of these Q&A videos before on my channel. I posted that about a month and a half ago. I will be sure to put that video link in the description box down below. If you haven't had the chance to watch that video yet, I would recommend it because there were a lot of questions in this thread of questions that I got on Instagram that I already answered in that first Q&A video. So let's go ahead and just jump right into the questions. We will start with the question that I have been asked over and over and over again in this thread. Let's just start off with the big guns. Do I have a boyfriend? Am I in a relationship? Am I dating somebody? As many of you guys probably already know, I did have a boyfriend named Nevin. That relationship has ended. Out of respect for him and for our relationship, I'm not gonna go too much into the details of that, but I will say that our relationship lasted for about 2 years. It was probably 2 of the best years of my entire life. There was no big dramatic or scandalous ending or anything like that. We just both realized that our life was just taking 2 different directions and our end goals in life just weren't on the same path. I feel like that happens with a lot of relationships. It definitely wasn't unique to ours. So that's the story with that. As far as if I am dating somebody currently, I am in a relationship right now. Once again, I'm not gonna go too much into the details on that, but I will say that I am very happy with the person I'm with, and yeah. So now we'll go ahead and get into more specific questions that people asked. Not_meant_2 asked, who or what is your biggest inspiration in creating different makeup looks? I will say that I'm not generally inspired by other people necessarily. I don't get inspired by celebrities or anything like that. I'm more so inspired by different color palettes, whether that be in nature or in different landscapes. As most of you guys know, if you follow me on any other social media like Snapchat or Instagram or Twitter, I did recently just get back from Hawaii, and while I was in Hawaii, I'd never been there before. So this was my first experience, and I feel like everything in Hawaii is just so much more vibrant, so much more clear. It was almost like the entire world around you had like a vibrance filter over it. The sky was even more blue. The grass and the bushes were even more green. Even the rocks were more brown. I get really inspired by scenery and different color palettes that you find in the earth. Emily Semenza asks, what made you want to start YouTube? Any inspirations? So I started my channel mainly because back when I was watching YouTube videos like 5 years ago or so, I felt like there weren't any, at least any bigger YouTubers that were of my skin tone. I didn't know anybody who had a tan or deeper complexion. Most of the bigger YouTubers have a light, maybe a medium complexion. A lot of the recommendations that they were making for specific colors and different shades of different makeup products just weren't working for me. I would buy like a blush that somebody else would recommend and it wouldn't work for my skin tone because it was too light or chalky. And I realized that I started liking my own types of things. I realized different colors were actually working really well on me. And I felt like if other people of my skin tone were watching the same YouTubers I was, they weren't getting color recommendations that would work for them. That's really why I started YouTube. I felt like I had some recommendations and some product suggestions that I feel like other people just weren't giving. Casey_Dicky asks, what brand of makeup do you trust the most for the best formula in all their products? Trust can go one of 2 different directions. If you mean trust like the products that I feel like would work for a lot of different skin types, whether you have sensitive skin or more mature skin or something like that, I would say Tarte is really good to go to. I know all of Tarte's makeup is very natural. Their formulas are really good. A lot of them are long wearing. As far as a brand that when they release something new, I always want to try it because I have personally had really good luck with their formulas, especially recently, is NARS. Anytime NARS releases a new product or a new color in some of their existing products, it always makes me want to try it. The Audacious lipsticks literally like dropped down from the heavens. I love their dual intensity shadows. Their blushes are and always have been amazing. They recently reformulated their lip glosses, which are also awesome. Tubatarik31 asks, if you had to recommend just one eyeshadow palette, which one would it be? Lorac Pro palette. The original Lorac Pro palette is my favorite eyeshadow palette. It's the one I take traveling with me all the time, and it's the one that if you were only going to get one palette, get the Lorac Pro. Ooh, I love this question. Brie Lally asks, if someone was to hand you a book about your future and how it will turn out, would you read it? I would be very, very tempted to read it because I have always been someone who really stresses and worries about the future, but ultimately I don't think I would read it because I feel like life would be so... I feel like you would worry more if you knew exactly how everything was to turn out. For example, if I knew that I was going to be in a totally different job than the one I'm in right now, and I would just be stressing, like, how am I gonna get to that job? How am I gonna find it? When is it gonna come along? When am I gonna get to there? I feel like I would just always constantly be stressing. Or if I knew I was gonna be married to somebody totally different, I'd be like, when am I gonna meet that person? When are we gonna actually get married? How long is it gonna take? It would just be too many questions more than it would be answers. Cat Eyes Damsel asks, do you ever want to do YouTube full time? Who is your favorite YouTuber? Who is the most recent one you are addicted to? Okay, so do I ever want to do YouTube full time? Maybe. You don't get paid that well off of YouTube unless you have quite a few hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers. At that point, I could definitely see living off of the income you make on YouTube. If my channel ever gets to that point, I would probably do it full time. I mean, why not? YouTube is something that's constantly changing, and we don't really know how long YouTube is actually going to be a big thing. So while it is a big thing, and while it is such an amazing resource for anyone who wants to learn or be entertained or anything like that, take advantage of it. As far as who my favorite YouTuber is, I did mention some people in my last Q&A video. I don't think I could just name one favorite, but as far as the person that I watch every single video of, no matter what the video is, no matter what the contents are, I don't even read the name or look at the thumbnail, I just automatically watch it, is Emily Noel 83. I think she is just such a nice person. She comes across so sweet, but she has so much information to give. She's an amazing resource. Her videos are always very well edited, very nicely presented. User X Error asks, Wonderland or Neverland? Wonderland, obviously. Underscore Cat Eatcell asks, what is the meaning of your name, Eshani? This is actually a really good question. As far as I know, Eshani is one of the many names of the goddess in Hinduism named Parvati. So that's just one of her many names. Most of the gods and goddesses, if not all of them, have lots of names, like hundreds of names. There's not just one name for a specific god or goddess. My Monthly Obsessions asks, did you feel awkward in front of the camera at first? How and when did you get over that? I would say yeah. I think anytime you are talking to a camera, like by yourself, literally talking to a camera, I think it's kind of weird at first. It's just like anything. It's like practice, right? So the more you do anything in your life, the better and better you're gonna get at it. Making a bed, washing the dishes, studying for homework. The more you do it, the more efficient you are at doing it. Bonafide Vixen asks, what is a beauty or fashion trend you're not a fan of? I have always been one to be pretty open to trends because I feel like a trend, I mean, it's in the name. A trend is just something that's trendy, right now. In a week or a month or a year, no one's gonna wanna do it again until the trend comes around again in like another decade or so. But as far as one that I see so much on Instagram that kind of makes me cringe a little bit is the super, super overdrawn, crazy big eyebrows. Don't get me wrong, I have really big eyebrows, but this is how my eyebrows are naturally. Like if your eyebrows are naturally super thin or super thick, rock it, girl. Don't ever tell anybody that it doesn't work for you, because that's totally fine. But people who take their naturally really thin eyebrows and turn them into this huge, like times a million, huge caterpillar on their face, that's just a little bit much. Srinija_G asks, favorite guilty pleasure food? Love all of your videos. Thank you so much. I have a lot of guilty pleasure foods. Honestly, I'm a huge sweet tooth, so I will gladly eat sugar 24/7. But the one that I can pretty much never resist is chocolate, especially if it comes in ice cream form. Chocolate ice cream just is like the best thing. I will eat it all the time. Sydney B816 asks, what's your go-to lip formula? My go-to lip formula is the Revlon lip butters. I love the Revlon lip butters, especially the one in the shade Pink Truffle. That is always living in my purse. Nels asks, what is your favorite season for cosmetic items? I love your videos, Eshani. You have the best reviews. Thank you so much. My favorite season for cosmetics is fall. I love fall, or maybe spring, but I like fall and spring, but my favorite is probably fall because I love the dark lips, the smoky eyes, the deep glitters. It's just the lashes, the liner. I love the fall time. Mrs.M_cat asks, pie or cake? Cake. Bex_HDZ88 asks, what's the best high-end foundation that helps for oily skin that is not too heavy on the skin? My all-time favorite, holy grail, this is the foundation. If I could only have one in my collection for the rest of my entire life, it would be this foundation, the MAC Pro Longwear. I think it is the best. It holds up fantastically on my super oily skin, super lightweight, doesn't feel like you're wearing makeup. Rachel Naidu asks, I started blogging, I think she meant vlogging. I started blogging not too long ago, but sometimes I don't feel motivated or I can't think of any content to create. How do you stay on top of your game? Because I do a lot of review videos, I feel like it's easier for me to stay on top of it because I just stay on top of new releases. I'm constantly following lots of beauty blogs. The #1 beauty blog I love is Temptalia. I try to keep my channel very informative. I like sharing lots of information with you guys, especially on new products and such. But if your channel or your blog is trying to stay more creative, like with tutorials and stuff like that, I mean, it's hard. I know a lot of channels who do gain inspiration from movies and from TV shows and from pictures or nature or photography, scenery, that kind of stuff to create more creative content, like a pretty eye look or something like that. Of course, you can gain inspiration from other people. People do a lot of like, you know, recreations of what people wore at different award shows or, you know, Miley Cyrus's makeup here or there. So you can gain inspiration from people as well. So I would say either try to stay on top of new releases and be very informative in your content, or try to just gain inspiration from different pictures or different people and stuff like that to do more of the creative side. Sandra Feng asks, what hygiene routine do you practice? Every video I watched of yours for the last 3 years are like a beautiful Colgate advertisement. Thank you so much. I actually get a lot of questions about my teeth and my teeth whitening routine and stuff. I'll be honest, I don't use any teeth whitening products. I just brush my teeth with a normal, it's like a Colgate toothpaste. I don't even think it's a whitening toothpaste. But I will say the way the lights and the camera kind of film me, my teeth always look a little bit whiter than they are in person. I mean, they are pretty white in person, but it's just, I think the camera just it's really forgiving. Those are all the questions I'm going to answer in today's Q&A video. Thank you guys so much for asking questions on my Instagram. If you guys want to participate in my next Q&A video, which will be up in about a month and a half or so, definitely follow me on Instagram and look out for my Q&A posts. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me, and my next video up on Thursday, I got so many questions about this as well, will finally be my ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip review and swatch video. Definitely stay tuned for that video, and I will catch you guys on Thursday. Bye! The biggest launch that Buxom has done in a really, really long time. In a pretty standard jumbo pencil tube, the Lilac Douce Lilac